In for Hawk Talk this week, Jack Michaels, radio play-by-play man for University of North Dakota football. And Jack, thanks for stopping by. Big game this past weekend. We knew it was going to be a good test for North Dakota. Good start, not so great in the second half, but ultimately a lot of things you can take away from a positive standpoint to certainly build on moving forward.
First of all, anytime I get a chance to hang out with Brian Shawn, that's number one. Hawk Talk is good. You're right. It was a good start. In fact, I would say maybe the best start they have had this season.
Yeah.
And when you can go up 14-0, the pick six certainly hurt. You could feel that it was palpable and tangible. But yet it didn't bury you. And then you go up 21-7 and things are feeling pretty good. And you realize the team that you're playing is really good. And the second half, the interception at the end of the first half probably took some more points off the board. But I think now that the dust has settled from that, you've worn it, you've eaten it, you've tried to regurgitate it and spit it out. I think there are some things you could take. You know, you were up 21-40, you had two 14-point leads against the top team in the country, and you showed some very promising things. There's obviously things to work on. That turnover thing, Brian, I tell you, I go back to this season, and it just seemed like Wyatt Pettigo was picking off a pass every game, and then it seemed like C.J. Siegel had a pick six in Northern Arizona, and all of a sudden that train stopped. You know, where are the turnovers? Where's winning the turnover battle? Now, granted, you've blocked a couple of punts and scored on it, but that to me is really what's been in my head is where's that turnover bug when that thing was leaning heavy towards UND? Now it hasn't been there. They're in a little bit of a slump.
Yeah, and that's an area I know they're really focusing on and just trying to get over the hump. Bubba Schweiger saying it's something we just need to force and hopefully open up the dam for more coming up down the road. Massey strength ratings came out. North Dakota, number 4 in strength. And among teams that have a winning record, they are on the top right now. And you would have to think that that's going to factor in down the stretch when the playoff picture comes into focus, and you're almost starting to look at that now with only 4 games to go.
You are, and I'm sure Abilene Christian, who's stepping in, the next opponent is stepping into their 3 more WAC games coming up after the game with UND. I'm sure they're looking at themselves going, look, we control our own destiny too. Bubba Schweigert and UND should be feeling the same thing. And I think if they found a way, if North Dakota found a way to get 3 of the next 4, get 7, have just a couple of losses in the conference, maybe 3, go 5-3 in the conference, get 7 wins overall, 7. It should be enough with that strength to get in. I use the word should.
But you just don't know.
I use the word should. You just lost Caden White, linebacker. So now you're asking, there's not a team out there that hasn't gone through an injury or a major one. Look at South Dakota State.
Tons.
Didn't play Isaiah Davis. Bach gets injured early on. And all of a sudden, so now North Dakota's got to learn to do this. You take Caden White, who I thought was having just a great year, an impactful season. And Wyatt Pettigo got to step in there now. Another, Caden Kelly got to step in there now. McNeil may be getting some playing time now.
Yeah.
This is the part of the season where people are dinged up. And when you're dinged up, you got to rally up and you got to buck up and you got to play your best brand of football. I don't think UND has played their best brand of football yet. And they're sitting okay.
Yeah.
That's optimistic to me.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's been certainly some things that have gone well and certainly things they can clean up. And you see the improvements every week. And Abilene Christian, as you talked about, Jack, is no slouch. I mean, this is a program that is a first-year head coach, Coach Patterson coming over, bringing over some transfers. This is a dangerous squad to play at this time of the season, jumping out of league play.
Yeah, they're tough to put a finger on them because Abilene Christian's never touched down in the Peace Gardens.
Ever.
Coach Patterson coming over from Texas Tech's got a defensive mind. Got a quarterback with that FBS pedigree that comes over. You've got some other FBS transfers, including some athletes that they've utilized at quarterback and now moved to the defensive side and special teams. They've got receivers that have that build that tough to manage, and North Dakota has given up some yards in that span. So we'll see how the corners are tested, the secondary is tested, and I don't think there's not a pushover, there's not a roll the ball out, we're going to win scenario, I don't think, for many teams, if any teams, in this. So a great start is what you preach. A great start is what North Dakota had in the last 2 games, really, but fell last week. So, this team is going to come out here to North Dakota and roll the ball out. And Keith Patterson said it as much this week. So, this is a team we want to be like. We want to be like UND. Play hard. and do that. And they've got nothing to lose. They walk back into their conference and play 3 more out. They win that out. Maybe their record is good enough to make a case.
Yeah.
We'll see. It's a scary team when a team is coming up that's unfamiliar and are playing with nothing to lose.
Yep. And only a 3-point loss at the Horn to 22nd ranked Stephen F. Austin. So on top of that, you're taking another team. It's a good challenge. It'll be interesting to see how it shakes out, Jack. But we forward to go. Still got something to play for. Not every team does, and that's the exciting part.
Yeah, relevant games in October as the calendar almost moves to November.
That's all you can ask for.
That's all you want. I like the pieces that they have. I just like it if it's for 60 minutes.
Yeah, and that'll be.
Sound like a coach right there.
Yeah, you are. Fire him up, Jack.
Now let's get out there and win some games.
Well, thank you for stopping by. It's always appreciated.
Hey, good to see you, brother.
You too, man.